without gratitude, there's really no hope. And why, if you don't develop gratitude, the divine loves you enough to give you time. But if you don't have gratitude, well, what does gratitude do for you?
Opens our heart.
And how can you go to God with a tight heart? You need to have a very open heart, actually exceedingly open, to see God face to face and know He loves you and He's real and all that. That's kind of the top of the mountain. But then once you get there, there's actually, which you don't know, there's actually another mountain, but we're not going to do that in this lifetime. But you need gratitude. You need to be grateful because you don't get there by yourself. Your very breath is a gift from God. Given a chance to meet a prophet's a gift from God. Your reasonable health. Living in a country that's reasonably free. All these things were gifts and they were not random. You didn't necessarily do it yourself. So you really can't go up this mountain very far, even at the far end of the valley, if you don't develop gratitude. It's actually something, you said it years ago, the first part. You were grateful that you were grateful. And you might think that's nonsense, but it's profound. When you start being grateful that you're grateful, you're starting to get the spirit of gratitude, that attitude of gratitude. People around you will notice, maybe before you do. It's a huge change in your whole demeanor, and it's for the better. You're better around people. You're just a better person. That one thing alone it'll take you many steps up the valley, through the valley, is learning to be grateful. It's something you can learn. And people that are not generally grateful are generally not happy deep down, and they're just not good to be around. I don't think most people want to be around severely ungrateful people. Yeah. When you're grateful, your heart opens up. And if you don't have a really wide open heart and stretch, and it takes many years, you can't go up to visit God with a closed heart. You probably wouldn't survive. So one of the most important things is develop gratitude, genuine gratitude for life, for people in your life, for your job, for just everything. That's extremely important. If we stop there today, I think it'd be worth coming. Anything else on that? That's probably the number one attitude to develop, and you got time, is an attitude of gratitude. Start being grateful for things. Our very breath is a gift of God. And also tends to work after doing this for many years. If you're not grateful for God's blessings, there's blessings every day once you learn to see Him. Every day you see blessings of God, is that right? In your lives. But you need to learn how to see Him. It's like a language you don't know. Once you learn the language, you go, wow, God's love is everywhere. But you can't see the God's love everywhere if you don't have a more open heart. And more open heart is partly the responsibility or the result of having gratitude. Gratitude is just so important.
You can learn to be grateful. We've seen examples through the years up here where it's almost mechanical at first, but you're making the effort to recognize the blessing.
It's a skill set. You can learn to be grateful. And we've met people over the years, some in here that weren't grateful naturally, and that's okay. You can learn to be grateful. It's a skill set. Mm-hmm. You might start with a journal, a gratitude journal, things you're kind of grateful for. Begrudgingly and grumpily, if that's a word, things during the day that you think maybe you're a little grateful for. And over time, so anyway, that's probably the most important start. You're not going to get very far in any path genuinely. You can fake it unless you develop a grateful heart. And that makes this whole journey so much easier. You're also able to accept help then. If you can't accept help, you're not going to go very far in a spiritual journey. You cannot do it yourself. It's impossible. And once you start having an open, grateful heart, you can gracefully accept help. And give help. You can learn to accept help and then learn to give help. And everything starts working easier on this journey.